Hi, it's Jon Mitchell, Mayor of New Bedford, and this is another installment of the Mayor's Weekly Update. So today, I'd like to talk a little bit about state capital projects. That is, the kinds of things the state pays for to make our city run. Bridges, roads, rail, port facilities, infrastructure. So I want to start by addressing the announcement that we heard this week concerning the South Coast Rail project. As most of you know, for many years the project has been slated for a route through the town of Stoughton, Massachusetts. And about 6 months or so ago, the state determined that alternative, that route, would cost some $3.4 billion, billion with a B, meaning that it would be extremely expensive. I questioned the estimate, but it sounds like that's the number they are going with. So they decided at that point to start to explore what has been dubbed the Middleborough option, which would involve going from here, if you're a commuter, going from here to Taunton, take a hard right at Taunton, go to Middleborough, take a hard left at Middleborough, go up to Boston. And as you might guess from my description, because of the turning involved, it's not exactly a direct route and would take a lot of time, some 90 minutes they estimate just on the train. That doesn't factor in the amount of time it takes to go to the train station on the way there and from the train station in Boston to your place of work. So all told, on the average, it might be about a 2-hour commute, which is really, really long. So my argument has been, I'm concerned that we've moved away from the Stoughton route, and I've advocated for that, continue to advocate for that route. And yesterday the governor has said that they're going to continue to explore Stoughton, but they're going to proceed with construction on Middleborough for the next few years. I'm glad that there is some construction going on. I think people in our city, in our region, should be clear-eyed about it. The amount of economic benefit that would come from the South Coast Rail project is proportional to the length, or actually inversely proportional to the length of the commute. So in other words, the shorter the commute, the greater the economic impact, the longer commute, the less. The Middleborough route will have more limited economic impact as a result compared to the Stoughton route. So what I've tried to emphasize, and you might have seen this in the papers, that the state really does need to commit to the other capital projects that we have going on, replacing the New Bedford-Fairhaven Bridge, which I've insisted on for a long time, port dredging, harbor dredging, port facilities, the 195 bridge, which has deteriorated over the years. The airport is another area. Those things all need to happen. And with regard to the rail project itself, it is important. I think the only way it's going to work is if there is express service from here to Boston, meaning no stops in between. Otherwise, it's going to be a very costly project and probably not a lot of people riding it. As for those other capital projects, we had a meeting this week with a number of folks down on the waterfront to try to advance some of those projects. I keep pushing them, and because I'm convinced, and you've heard me say this before, that the more that we can invest in the port and build modern infrastructure and run the port the right way, the better off the companies in the port are going to be, the more competitive they'll be, whether they're in the fishing industry or the processing industry or cargo or offshore wind, wherever they are, they're going to be better if their facilities are up to date and modern. So we're going to continue to push on those fronts as well, so long as I'm here. And it is working. We've seen tremendous growth in the port in the last few years, and we want to continue to build on that. So stay tuned. We're pushing hard to get those dollars here, and that's I see that as a big part of my job as the mayor of our city. Until then, this has been the Mayor's Weekly Update.